All right. Welcome to the stream. How we doing, everybody? Good to see you here. Akuma, welcome. Hi, Kiri. Good to see you. All right, so we're going to get into something slightly different today. Wednesday is kind of that weird day where I do, like, kind of whatever. We ended up finishing up Doom 2016 last night, which I didn't really expect to complete. But lo and behold, we did it, so we're kind of free a bit. I still want to go back and do some more Doom on PS1. I want to see at least maybe getting through the first three campaigns, but we'll see how it plays out. But anyway, we're going to do some viewer requests. We have a viewer request from Ol Haikiri, your friend and mine. He's requested that we play Kingsfield 2 on stream. This is, of course, the American version of Kingsfield 2. And it's not the Japanese Kingsfield 2, which was Kingsfield 1 in America. We sort of were talking about this over the past couple streams, but it's one of those weird situations, kind of like with Final Fantasy. So I know someone's probably going to come in here after a while and make that note. Because I remember when I streamed the original Kingsfield 1, which I own, well, for the original for US, I remember there's the number of passionate people coming in talking about this game, so we'll see kind of how it goes, but I've never actually played this one. I have only ever owned and played the original. I did do another game from Software, which was Shadow Tower, which I think is comparable to these other ones, and it's also a really fun game. I never really got that far into it, but I could tell the quality was there. But we will get into it. I should have everything all booted up here, so let's go ahead and get started and see what we get rolling. It's just like Dragon Quest, is it? Oh, you mean in terms of like the numbering thing? Did Dragon Quest go through that same ordeal? I know it happened with Final Fantasy. Like, we got the original, in the US, we got the original Final Fantasy release, and that was 1. And then 2, I think, was 2. No, 2 was 4, wasn't it? 2 was 4, and then 3 was 6. So, big mess. Oh, okay, you're talking about the core gameplay. Okay. I don't remember the releases of Dragon Quest. I do have Dragon Warrior on NES, and I know that's the first game. I don't remember what they did for the rest of the releases, though. I don't even remember seeing any of the rest of the releases on NES, which I know there was a couple before they, I think, eventually moved to the Super Nintendo. But if you're talking about the story or whatever, for the most part, yeah, I've never played the second one. Played the first one. The first one throws you right into the game, so there's not a whole lot to go off of. Hey, what's going on, Daler? This is an oldie. This game is from 1995, I think, so this preceded like Tomb Raider by 1 year. This is an old PlayStation game, one of the earlier ones. We should talk about the developers, too. The developers of this game is From Software, which they're well known for their Elden Rings and Dark Souls games, but this is the first series that they did. And to this day, they still make reference to these games by way of the Moonlight Blade, which is a weapon that you can get in I think all the Kingsfield games. And then you can subsequently get that in the Armor Core games and in Dark Souls, Elden Ring. There's always some sort of reference to the Moonlight Blade. All you remember was Dragon Quest 7 was super hyped. 7 was on the PlayStation, wasn't it? It was one of the older ones. I think you had Kingsfield 1. I have Kingsfield 1 as well. I've even streamed it a couple times. Has anybody here ever played Shadow Tower? Shadow Tower was done, I think, after the first set of Armor Core games. And it was like a much more polished version, in my opinion, of the Kingsfield games. You can get it off of the PlayStation Network. That's where I first played it. But it's a real solid game. I think it's a little bit better than some of these, but you know, these were they were just feeling it out. 1996 from these, but I think that's for the US port. I'm pretty sure that this originally came out in 1995 in Japan. Seen it on PSN, but you haven't bought it. Yeah, it's a good game if you like the Kingsfield series or, you know, that type of game. I think you'll like Shadow Tower because, as I said, it's kind of a more polished version.
Its once lush forests and great mountains now bow before the will of the fallen Holy King. No one could explain the fall of the king.
Turn the volume up, I think, just a little bit. Although the music is really loud, it's like overpowering the guy's voiceover.
Now the Dite watched in horror as the ancient evil returned in the form of their king. They cried out for Alexander, who had brought back the Moonlight Sword 5 years ago.
Hey, there's the Moonlight Sword. Dragon Quest VIII. Oh, okay.
The foul stench of evil permeated the tower as Alex ventured forth.
The foul stench of evil.
It was too late. The sword was broken.
I was just about to say the voice acting ain't bad. It isn't bad. It's not bad voice acting, but it is a little stilted.
With the Moonlight Sword broken, Alex prepared for his meeting with destiny. He bestowed upon the chosen four the powers necessary to protect the kingdom.
The xylophone is going hard. No, this is not a physical copy. How much you want to bet it's going for a physical copy of Kingsfield 2? Over 100 or under? Let's take a look.
And the rest was silence.
220. I'll take 220, Bob.
To Lyle, the king's son.
And we're going for $1. All right.
In the days ahead, you must grow stronger than you ever thought you could. You must receive the power from before and break my seal to face your father.
I wish if we could integrate a Price is Right segment, I'd do it.
You must take up the sword of your father and win back your kingdom. The future is in your hands. With this, Alex gave up his soul.
There was like two people talking.
For 10 years, Lyle carried the burden of being prince to his
Oh, now I can hear the voiceover.
Now old enough to understand the message etched in his mind forever. It's time he faced his destiny.
Oh my God. All right. Well, there you go. I guess that's it. Here, I have it pulled up. Let's see. How much is it going for? On average, I would say about $100. That's surprising. I expected it to be a little bit more, but it is over 100, I think, on average. I see a couple discs only that are selling for in and around the range of like 50 to 70, but most are over 100, especially if you're getting complete in box. But I did expect it to be a little bit more. I was expecting it to be a little closer to like 200, maybe even a little bit above that. Considering how people get real fanatical about any of the From Software games. Let me see how much Kingsfield 1 is going for, the old long box version. About the same. Kind of hovering around $100. It's not too bad. The Japanese version says $1. Somehow I don't think that's accurate, but you never know. What's the price of Rumble Roses for the PS2? We could just continually like debate on what games are going for. I used to have that. I used to have the original Rumble Roses. I got the one on the 360 now. The original one on PS2 probably doesn't go for that. Nope, does not go for that much at all. $25 and under. Come on down. All right, the game has started. We're dicking around too much. But yeah, you can kind of see the influences for anybody that's played a Dark Souls game, which, you know, even people, Daler, I'm looking at you, even for people that don't like the series that much. It's like, we've all played one. We've all had one. But you can kind of see the early influences of what the series is like. Hey, Miss Smarts, welcome in. Thank you for the early raid. We're just getting started here. How's it going? Welcome in, Smarty Party. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. At the end of the stream, I'll remind everyone to have their pets spayed and neutered. We can't forget that. We have to make sure that we're a good host. Welcome in, guys. How you doing? How is everybody? Miss Smarts? Streaming Fortnite. There we go. I was about to accuse Frosty Tools of not working again, but it seems like it is. How did the Fortnite go? You get any wins? Some good gaming going on? Doing well? Good. So we're just getting started with this game here, Kingsfield 2. This is an early From Software game. This is technically the third Kingsfield, but in the US it was released as the second one. You only got one. It's rough. I've streamed Fortnite a few times over the past few months, and I could probably count the amount of wins that we've gotten on stream on one hand. So it gets a little crazy, but still it's fun. I enjoy it. But yeah, I've never played this one before. I own and have played the first one to a fairly significant extent, and I would imagine that this game is roughly the same. Fairly slow-paced, first-person RPG. It does have a lot of the attributes that would eventually get carried over into the Dark Souls series. And like I was saying, trying to get into with saying that you could sort of see the influences that would later go into the Dark Souls series. They have big, grand, epic cutscenes to kind of start off the game, and then once you finally get into the game, you're just kind of like dropped in, and you need to figure out what you have to do. Oh, good, plants. You can see that there's a stamina meter up at the top. I see that there's like the health and magic kind of goes down, but whenever I'm slashing the sword, the health meter goes down, which I'm assuming is stamina. Your greatest fear. Man-eating plants? I suppose I don't blame you. How do I pick up items? That ain't it. Ah, there we go. It's the X button. But yeah, once you're into the gameplay, you're just kind of into it, and you have to sort of figure out what you need to do. Feed me, Seymour. Yeah, a little bit. A little Shop of Horrors vibe to it. But this one I've never played. As I was saying at the beginning, I've played the first US release, Kingsfield, and I've played a little bit more of Shadow Tower, which if anybody likes these types of games, I would say that Shadow Tower is probably the best example of them. You can still get it for about $5-6, I think, on PSN, but you would need to have a PlayStation 3 to play it, so those are becoming a little bit more scarce these days. Which one specifically? The first one? It was rough for me, if we're talking about that. It's a little bit hard to know what you need to do. And it could be rough kind of feeling out how the gameplay goes. I remember when I first booted up, I got lost almost immediately. And then when I played it subsequent times, I was able to do it a little bit more. Oh, you're talking about 24. I didn't even see that. Yeah, that game's probably rough too. The original SMT, was it it wasn't like a party, no, it was a party based. What kind of game was it, the original SMT? Because for a while we were talking about those blobber RPGs, and I thought it was one of those, but I guess I was wrong. But I thought it was kind of like a first person, almost sort of dungeon crawler-esque video game. It's a party RPG, but is it like, does it have the same gameplay mechanics as like a Final Fantasy or a Dragon Quest or something, or is it sort of more along the lines of, you know, the dungeon crawler blobber like I was talking about? I didn't pull up any gameplay. It's just somebody was saying that I was more or less wrong, so I was like, okay, I'll admit to that. But this is From Software's third game, since this is technically Kingsfield 3, and I don't know if the individual team members had worked on stuff beforehand, but I mean, for a third game, so far not looking too bad. I think their fourth, eventually they launched up the Armor Core series, which a lot of us like the Armor Core series here. I know we've talked about it as I've streamed some of those games in the past. I really like the PS1 games, and I have almost all of them. The only one I'm missing is Oh, Verdict Day, I think it's called. And then I think maybe one of the PSP ones. If there's two on the PSP, I've got one of the PSP ones, but if there's two, I don't have the second one. And then, I think that might be it. But that series launched up in popularity when the sixth one released a couple of years ago. And they became a little bit harder to get. I noticed that some of the copies of ones that I had on the PS2 in particular were like exceptional prices. Calm Range, welcome in. Thank you for coming in on the raid. I do appreciate it. What's up, Honto? By multiplayer, do I mean Fall Guys with Scoob? Maybe. I don't know. Is Scoob around? I'm just throwing it out there because Wednesday has become kind of the default de facto multiplayer night. So who knows? I could be doing Resident Evil 5. I could be doing Fortnite. I could be doing Fall Guys. Yeah, Scoob was streaming that last night, wasn't he? I didn't get a chance to see him play it, but I've seen gameplay of it. It looks good. That Clair Obscur. It's a French game. It's made by a French team. Dead. Not the French team that's dead. That's just what it said on screen. I guess that knight was dead. We did get a level up also, as Haikiri mentioned. I don't know how I do that. I know very little about this game. What is option 1? Oh. Option 2? Oh. Key was playing it? Key Bladder, come on. Expedition 33 is on your list. It's on mine too. When I had seen initial gameplay footage of it before it released, and I said that looks pretty good. And it's a turn-based RPG. It's got some new mechanics blended in. So I was interested from the get-go, but boy, a lot of people seem to love it. So I'll get it eventually, I'm sure. I do not really have that much time on my hands to commit to a full-on RPG, but eventually. I'll play White Noise too. We could. It is possible. The potential's there. I don't know that we will. What was that? But basically, I don't know what I'm doing here. This is kind of like how the first game went, though. I will say that it's right off the bat, it's a little bit more open because when you start the first game, immediately you're like in a tower area. So, have some Kingsfield, nice. Currently, I am poisoned. Hopefully, that dissipates quickly. There's all sorts of these types of enemies in From Software games. Mushrooms that spew out spores that poison you. Horrible. Okay, I don't know that that's actually gonna, like, dissipate. Okay, here's an antidote. I better use it. Might not be a good idea if I just, like, let that simmer. Earth herb, maybe? Restore some health. There we go. From Software loves their poisons. They love their swamps and their poisons, and any little thing that can deteriorate your health over time while you're subsequently getting attacked by something else. It's a lot of nightmare situations, and they put them in almost every game they can, at least the ones that are more high fantasy-ish. Try to avoid most of the stuff if I can. Oh, look at this. Whoa! Okay, I'm dead. I didn't expect him to be so powerful. It was a skeleton with a sword. I mean, those are usually relatively tame enemies. Where am I? Oh. Now, this is where we started, right? Ah. Hello. Oh, hey. This is just like in the previous game. Kingsfield 1. None of the people had any features on them. They kind of all look like Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid. Or they don't have like any eyes. Oh, at least he tucked me in. I know. It was a little bit harsh. Alexander lost his magical power of light on the day he placed the Great Seal on the castle. All his life force was put into the seal. Because you have the blood of King Alfred, you have inherited that power as well. The 4 other magical powers have been entrusted to 4 archmages who have been waiting to endow them upon you. You must have the 4 magical powers to obtain the Moonlight Sword, with which you can break the seal of the castle. 4 archmages put the sword in the tomb of Alexander and sealed it so that none but the one with all 4 powers could open it. Besides these powers, you must also obtain the seals of Icarus, or Icarius, maybe. The king must have given them to someone for safekeeping. I'll tell you about... Oh no, it's Icarus later. Just remember that you must have the seals of Icarus in order to fulfill your destiny. The Excelector will grow with you and increase in its power just as you do. One day you will need the power. When you have the 3 seals of Icarus, bring them to me along with the sword. The Excelector will grow and increase with its power just as you do. That's the same line. Oh, okay, I guess I gotta back out. Alright, well, at least we have an idea of what we're doing, but most of what he said was just reiterating what was already mentioned in the cutscene, so nothing too groundbreaking there. But we're looking for the seals, we gotta get the sword. Where any of that stuff is, I have no idea. I guess I won't go into the house with the skeleton in the chest anymore. Perhaps later, maybe after I get a little bit stronger or get some armor or something. Might help out. Broken cart. That looks like there's something in front of it though. There is no way... Oh, never mind. I lied. I was gonna say there's no way to look down, I don't think, but there is. I just wanted to see if there was a way to, like, investigate something a little bit closer when you're right in front of it on the ground. Well, it's a surprise party. It's like a bachelor party when, like, the stripper comes out of the cake, but it's a skeleton wielding a sword. This shouldn't feel all that different. We were just playing Oblivion Remastered. So we should have a fairly strong sense of familiarity. First-person RPGs and all that. In a way, though, this does kind of harken to some PC-type RPGs. You know, like the Elder Scrolls series. Those are fairly similar in kind of their feel. And it's fairly unique to have it on a console like the PlayStation. Statue of the hero. Oh, there he is. Anything else to go along with that, or what? I'm gonna be nervous about opening up chests. It's sealed. It's probably for the best. But that's kind of how these games go, and, you know, it's sort of the same with the Dark Souls series. Oh, it's a save crystal. What do you know? It's just you're kind of cast into the world, and you just have to go around, feel things out, and figure out what you need to do. And eventually you'll come across stuff that makes a little more sense. Played Class of Heroes, you know how BS chests are. Yeah, I'm no stranger to tricky chests, but at least later on, you know, there were tells. I remember when we did the original Dark Souls last year, I'm like, oh yeah, you gotta check the chains. If the chain is curled, I think it is, then it's safe, and then if it's strewn out, then it's a mimic. And there are other things you could do. You could do like Lloyd's Talisman, you could toss it on there, it'll open up for you and give you whatever's inside if it does end up being a mimic, but you kind of get a sense for like the area and the placement of the chests as well when you got a tricky one. But always keeping up that level of difficulty with the games. Always keep you on your toes. You never want to be content with where you are. And then after they made these games, they went on to do Armored Core, which apparently saved the company with From Software. I think Kingsfield wasn't exactly doing it for them. As much as people I've seen, like a lot of people that are very passionate about these games, Kingfield series, and I could see it's just given how they're kind of like a retro RPG that was sort of niche on a specific console exclusively. I could see where it builds up a fan base like that, but general public didn't really get into them as much. And when they made Armored Core, they broke into something that was multiplayer. They garnered a huge fan base, had a ton of people that were really invested in the Armored Core series that would buy every installment, have a bunch of LAN parties, competitions, even lacking any online function. You like the Armored Core series too, Hikari? They're fun. I can attest to that. I've played most of them. I haven't beaten all of them, but I've played most of them. And apparently before they really started raking it in with the Dark Souls series, Armored Core was their bread and butter. It's what kept them afloat for a long time. I think they had kept up with that series probably the most. You could see just based on how many sequels that the Armored Core series has in such a short time frame, that it was definitely something that was making them a decent amount of money. And Miyazaki, I think, was working with them. He might have been from the beginning. I don't remember how long he was with the company, but I know that eventually he ended up taking a break for a little bit. And it wasn't until Eco from, Team Eco on the PlayStation. It wasn't until that game that he decided to come back and inspired him to do Demon Souls. Latest Armored Core was Game of the Year for you last year. Yeah, I forget what all came out in 2023, but that was up there. It was like my probably first or second favorite game. Oh, that is not talking. Hello. Who are you? So, the time has finally come to go to the castle. You must be very careful, your father will be waiting. And boy, is he gonna be mad. You aren't just late for dinner this time. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the defense wall of Silveria on the north side was built by... What? No, I didn't... I accidentally pressed the move button. I think that was enough to break me out of the text. Oh, son of a bitch, now it's different? The other side of the wall is called the Old Battlefield, not nearly as old as I am, though. That's where the garrison used to fight off the invading monsters. Hardly a garrison is at all, I guess. They weren't really trained. They were just a bunch of ragtag soldiers from some idealistic crusade trying desperately to save their lands and homes. I don't want to think about it anymore. I've been living here for 150 years now, or is it 90? Heck, I can't remember. Anyway, I've never had a bit of trouble in this house. I used to be a baker at the castle, you know. But I never did find that recipe I was looking for. It was recipe pies. This man's falling asleep. Alright, well. He apparently had something important to tell me, but I accidentally skipped it, and now I don't know what it is, and that information is just gone permanently. So that's cool. Still need to finish The Last Guardian. Fan of the Team Eco games. We played, I think 2 years ago, their entire catalog, and I had a lot of fun going through them again. The Last Guardian I had played for the first time. I had never played it before then. When Last Guardian originally came out, I mean, I was super hyped for it when I saw that they were making a sequel pretty much to Shadow of the Colossus, because I still consider Shadow of the Colossus one of my favorite games of all time. Told me that TMNT for the SNES is $1 bill. Okay. Last Colossus is your top 5 game of all time? Shadow? Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is a really good game. I still consider it one of my favorite games of all time. And when I originally played it, I was just blown away. So I was following whatever they were doing and I was really hyped for, what the working title was, Trico at the time. And, I had heard about it. It was originally going to be developed for the PS3, and there was a little bit of information about it. There was going to be, basically a big Colossus that you followed around. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. And then a year went by, and then 2 years went by, and then 3 years went by, and then, after about 5, I probably just lost track. So when it finally came out on the PS4, they had, I think, restarted development to work with a new engine, and they finally started developing for PS4. I just kind of had lost interest by that point. So when it finally released, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I never actually played it. So finally got to do that, I think in 2023, a couple of years ago, and it was a pretty fun game. It wasn't as good as Shadow of the Colossus, or probably, I don't know if I liked it as much as Eco, but it was fun. I enjoyed it still. Hi, Lyle. Why, you've grown since this last time your father stopped by. What's your hurry? Please don't leave so soon. I haven't had a guest here for months, and I'd love to hear how you've been. I'll only charge you 150G. What? Oh, this is an inn. I don't have money, sir. Sorry. Only? It's too rich for my blood, apparently. I'm some sort of royal heir. I don't have 10 gold to my name. Hold up. Got a message. Let me see. Give me just a sec here. Oh, not that. There we go. Okay. I had to redo a couple windows here. It was not you. Okay, I was going to say, did I respond to you? I don't think I did. But maybe it didn't warrant a response. No, I did. Well, I did for when you initially messaged me. I was like, we'll just kind of see what happens. I don't know who all is going to be here, so I don't know what we're going to do, and I also don't know how much time I'm going to be putting into this. I did start a little earlier so that Akiri could catch the stream since he did request the game. Because I know that I tend to go pretty late. I tend to start pretty late too, so he tends to not keep up with me in terms of how late I stay up. So I figured I might as well do this first, try to get it in a little bit earlier. We'll do probably at least 2 hours. Oh, sure thing, Akiri. No problem. I'll probably do at least a couple hours of this, and then we can do a couple hours of some kind of multiplayer. But just kind of depends on who comes around. Okay, well, that's a shame. I figured maybe, I don't know, it might be a cool little dungeon I can go into. Guess not. Wait, where are we? Oh, we're back here. Okay, I guess we always start back at the house. Do we lose anything every time we die? It's level 1, okay. Did I start at level 0? It says I've got 0 experience, which that seems kind of not great. I think you probably would start at level 1 would be my guess, so that we just restarted. So it just put us back at the beginning, basically. It might as well have just reset. Yeah, that's fine. Well, apparently, it looks like we lose both experience and levels, because I would think that unless we started at level 0, most games would start you just at level 1. And I know I got a level up. So, I don't know. We're still kind of feeling out the mechanics for the game, so there is definitely going to be some room for improvement in figuring out what we can and can't do. I am playing this via emulator, so I don't have a game manual. Skeleton. Oh good, we got a helmet now. Nice. I'll put that on right now. You did equip it, right? You didn't. Why? There we go. Okay. I don't know why I didn't put it on the first time. I pressed the X button. I'm gonna probably avoid the mushrooms. God damn it. Hold on. Do I have items? Okay, I get to keep my items at least. I lose my level potentially. Nope, we didn't use it. Oh, I see. It's... Wait, no, it isn't. There we go. Okay. It's the white indicator. When it's white text, that means we took it. Yeah, you do not want to do shrooms in this game. Doesn't seem like it leads to any beneficial effects. A little bit of money. I'll hack away at a couple of these just to see if I can get a little bit of money and experience both, because these guys seem relatively easy to kill. We saw that there was... Holy shit. Plant blasted my ass back like 20 feet. We saw that there was one area that we could potentially get into, but it needs some kind of key or something, which I don't have. So we'll just kind of like explore, see if we could find something. It does look like you keep items though, because I have the same loadout that I had previously. So that's kind of good. I would think if we picked up a key item, that probably means that it stays in our inventory. Yeah, there we go. I gotta level up, so we're level 2. Hey, I'm curious, since you're here, did you ever beat this game? I'm curious. I've only ever known, I guess Daler would be one of them, so I've only ever known one other person besides Daler that's actually played any of the Kingsfield games. And he always told me, never play the original Japanese one. He's like, that game sucks. So he's like, just stick with the US releases. You don't need to revisit the first one. I've always been kind of curious about the first game though. Even though, like, people always say, like, sometimes there's like a first installment of like a long-running series. People are always like, oh yeah, you don't want to play that first one. That one's real bad. Our most recent example of that probably was last year when we did Earthbound Beginnings, or the first Mother game. I was streaming Earthbound, which is the second game in the series, and a lot of people were coming in and they were like, you plan on doing Mother 3? And I'm like, well, I kind of want to do Mother 1 first and see what the original one was like. And pretty much everybody said, nah, you can skip it. And I played it and I thought it was alright. You know, for an NES RPG, I didn't think it was too bad and I enjoyed the experience. So I'm glad I didn't listen to everybody. I played it anyway. One of the few you beat back then with your attention span. Ooh, I got boots? Is that what I got? I couldn't even tell. I don't know. We got something. Let me see. Feet. Oh, wait, no. Oh, it was gloves. Well, it kind of looked like boots. There we go. We're getting kitted out. I'm surprised that a plant had that. It must have been from a previous owner that it ate. But yeah, I've not really heard that many people talk about the Kingsfield series in general. I've just known the one person that I've talked pretty regularly with. Daler has apparently played one of them, and I guess you have. You've beaten it, so now I know 3 people. If you see something you like, take it. The stuff is just going to waste with no customers to buy anything. Anyway, I'll probably be dead by the time anyone comes around here again. Oh, can I just... Oh, but you're selling it. She's like, if you see anything, just take it. Okay. But no, I have to pay for it now? That's not fair. If it means anything, no one talks about the Pacers. Well, I'm not, like, the concept of, like, a niche series or something isn't, foreign to me. I've just never, and I'm not even saying that I'm necessarily a fan of the series either, because I've only played a portion of both Shadow Tower, which I would kind of consider to be in the same series, and the first US one. So it's like, you know, my experience with them is very minimal, but I still have played, you know, them, and most of the people I talk to about video games have not at all. They don't even know what they are. So it's kind of an interesting thing, considering that it was the first series of games that From put out, which has become such a huge company. Only true homies know what TITS is. Well, I might. I remember. No, there's no way that would be it. And it's not just tits. There's I know that I've played a kind of game that uses TITS as an acronym, but that would be something that's like super, super niche. So, I don't know. I probably don't know what you're referring to. Here, we've gotten a decent amount of money, and we have some gear, so I'm going to save. We'll get back to this in a sec. As soon as it hurries up. Maybe. This is a possibility. We'll see. Let me take a look. My inventory has nothing but herb. Is that it? Do I not have anything else? It's kind of neat that you have like storage access right from the menu. Don't need to like go to a home base or anything. Oh look, you can look at old conversations. Okay, I guess the conversation I had with the old man is no longer registered. That's weird. Okay, so like nothing you do has a lasting effect after you die, but you get to keep all the inventory still. Because I remember there was an herb in one of those barrels, so that didn't even stick. You can't exploit getting new inventory, despite the fact that everything else seems to reset. Got another level up. What is this? It does seem like you do more damage when your stamina goes up too. So I'm kind of waiting between swings, not just trying to swing frantically. I'm thinking when it makes a bigger noise, that might mean that you're doing more damage. It's like a crit or something. Dead. Okay, we saw that there wasn't anything in there. There's like no signs. There was a sign back here, but it didn't say anything. I tried to interact with it and there was nothing. Maybe it says something on the reverse. Sacred Land of the High Elves, Quist. Okay. Am I an elf? I don't even know. Who am I outside of the Lord's son? Jack Leininger. Thank God there was a second in there. Okay, let's see what he says this time. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the defense wall of Silviera on the north side was built by Garrison about 6 years ago. We can be safe today thanks to their work. Okay, now he's just talking about the garrison. I guess he didn't really have anything pertinent to say. I was a little bit peeved because I accidentally skipped past that line, but I guess it wasn't anything super important. So we've been up there. That's the inn. I feel like the only place that I can go where we haven't seen anything else is there was that house that had the skeleton inside the chest. And I think there was a route kind of around that area. So I guess I'll go up that way and see if there's anything I can do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Popped up for a second. I'm a little bit afraid of the water, too. I don't know if my character can swim. If I hit it, I might just die. Hi, Kiri. Can your character swim? I mean, in a logical sense, that's fine, but I don't know how logical this game is. Armor and water don't mix. Because, I mean, I was wearing like a big-ass set of armor in Oblivion not that long ago. I was playing that for an hour. And, I was swimming just fine. You don't think so? Okay. Well, then I will avoid it. There's a little, like, potion or something up there. I kind of want to get it, but I don't know where we would... The character can't jump, so I don't know where we would do that from. The starting house is real close to the wall here. If I could, like, drop down on one thing and then climb up the other side, but... I think it's too far away to even do that. You see a barrel, can it be broken? I don't know, I don't think I've ever tried to strike the barrels before. Yeah, floor gold. I hesitated to pick it up because I thought the other plant was real by, like close by, so I wasn't going to scrounge around for it. I don't think you could break the barrel. There appears to be some kind of something here. Is that a dungeon? I don't know. I also don't have like a ton of items either. I've got health items, but I don't have anything to cure any poison effects. No specialty spells or anything. I hope there's no weapon degradation in this game. That would suck. I don't want to have to visit a blacksmith or anything like that. 1 gold. There's this side here, but I don't think I could climb up from this. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. We did it. Wow. Hold on. We fell off. How'd I do that? There we go. Oh no, I can't get up the second part. I don't know how I did it in the first place. Oh, that's cheap. There's like no climbing mechanic per se. Whoa. Okay. Well, I almost had it. Now the plants are angry. They don't like me getting up to no good. Oof. 17 gold and whatever that is. What is that? Oh, Silvera's key. Okay, so just like a random plant had it. Key for the door. This key is for the pedestals built into the defense walls in order to prevent the invasion of evil creatures. I don't know. I think our health has gone up because I think the baseline was 50 when we first started. So at level 4, we're up at 71 now. We have magic at 12. But what that means, I don't know. There apparently isn't any sort of stat selection because I haven't been able to choose anything. So pretty much what you see there is what we got. I guess we can come back to it at some point and see if it's gone up by any significant degree, but I'm not going to remember what any of it was. But yeah, no, there's no sort of like points I've been able to spend anything on. So I'm guessing that hasn't been worked into the gameplay mechanics. I'm kind of tempted to just... I don't even want to mess with anything with the mushrooms, because I don't even know if like you recover from poisoning after a time. I'm not sure if it's something that you need to have an antidote for, which we don't have. So I don't want to like force myself into an encounter with one. It's a little bit further away at this point, but I kind of want to go back to the save point. And then I think the door that we saw that was locked earlier is what we use that key on, because it was real close. The old guy was talking about this Silviera. Oh, see, there's a stat. We have strength up. That was actually disclosed to us in the text. Okay, so some items do come back, so we got that ruby again. From the dead guy. So, I don't know, maybe stuff in the barrels is like randomized? Because I know that I've picked some stuff out of the barrels before, and then they weren't there when I checked them a second time around. So, I don't get it, but whatever. I guess I can't chop trees down. It looks like you should be able to squeeze through there, but I guess you can't. I'm just going to go back to the save point, and then maybe we'll see about going to the wall. Hell, if I got enough money, I got 309. I was going to say I could pick myself up maybe a piece of armor or something, but I don't know if I have enough. Most of the stuff in the shop seemed like it was relatively expensive. Still stuff ranging into like the thousands. So I'm guessing I probably can't afford anything. I gotta stop using the D-pad too. I'm gonna use the analog sticks a little bit more. The movements are pretty basic. You know, you can move 4 directions basically. If you want to strafe, you have to use the shoulder buttons. L1 and R1 will move you from side to side. So I'm kind of at home with that, especially since we just started Doom on PS1. You strafe with the same buttons. But that's how a lot of first-person games were back in the day. They didn't make use of the second analog stick because there was no guarantee that all players would have a second analog stick, or analog sticks at all. So you gotta strafe with the shoulder buttons, and you know, you turn your camera when you turn your character. There's no looking around otherwise. Oh boy. Longsword, broadsword, rapier, battle axe, iron helm. Yeah, even all the armor and stuff is way out of my league. I could get a leather shield. That might be handy. Might be a good idea to get some herbs or antidotes too. I could probably sell that recovery related special item. See, I don't know what that means though. Is that just like general recovery, or I could probably look it up. Hold on. This is what I do when I play old games where I don't want to like experiment to figure out what it does. So in Kingsfield 2, it cures all conditions except poison. Okay. Well, I think I'm probably okay on that for right now. So, especially like poison is like the big one. We can sell the key. That does not seem like a good idea, but yeah. It is possible. I'll sell the Bloodstone. Oh, we got 489. I'm gonna get the shield. Let's get that Brady guide out. Hopefully it wasn't in their tail end of their game guides, because they'd force you to go into a website. We were talking about that last night, weren't we? I don't know if anybody was here for it, but we were talking about game guides last night. Brady Games did the Final Fantasy series game guides, which I have Final Fantasy VII. I remember flipping through Final Fantasy VIII's guide at a bookstore, and that's how I learned about some stuff like Bahamut and Odin and some of the other summons, some secrets. And then I had bought Final Fantasy IX's guide, and it was the biggest piece of shit that I have ever owned. It is a game guide, and it tells you half of what you need to like learn things and do things, but then the other half they keep locked away on their website because they had a brilliant idea that, hey, we could get people to get to our website by typing in codes when they go online. So not only is that handy for, like, not handy for the modern age where the website's dead and there's no way to get any of that information back. I don't even think it's available on the Internet Archive. But it was really bad for me because I did not have internet until like the 2010s, consistently anyway. The only way I could get internet was either at school, at my grandparents' house, or like at the library. And I remember there was a time where I was at my grandparents' house and I had brought the game guide with me, and I just pulled up every little bit of information that they had directed me to whatever pages they had, and just I wrote it down in the game guide. But I couldn't do that for the entirety of it. So there's like a good portion of the game guide that has my like 10-year-old scribblings in there about whatever information was locked away on the website, and then the rest of it's just gone. It's like it's blank and there's nothing there, so I'll never get that information. And it's like game guides were handy back in the day. I had them for pretty much any of the RPGs I had, any long form games. But that one was one of the worst. It was not handy in the slightest. And of course, you know, obviously these days I could just type in whatever sort of information I need on the old Google. But you know, it's handy to have it in a book that you could follow along with relatively easily, especially for older games. I mean, unless it's something super popular, which Final Fantasy is. But you know, sometimes there'll be some niche games, and game guides are incomplete online, or you can only find sources of information between, you know, a number of different websites. It's not always consistent, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know that Alexa could get you the nude code for Tomb Raider. Might take objection to that. All right, here we are. Okay. Yeah, I know it's locked. I tried to interact with this thing. Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. Well, you can't just like interact with it and then have it pull up from like the menu. It's not like a Tomb Raider or something. There we go. All right, we're making progress. I'm proud of myself. Let's see what kind of ancient horrors we have inside the dungeon. Soldier's body. Oh, I can't take his helmet. Lame. The look of this game and how... Oh, hey, save crystal. The look of this game and how smooth the movements are and everything, it reminds me of like a fake video game that you'd see in like a TV show or a movie, and like the kid would be button mashing on the controller, and then like this would be playing on the screen. It reminds me of that kind of game. I don't know, something about it. It almost seems too generic. I was thinking about that recently. Charlie's Angels, the movie with Drew Barrymore and everything. There was a moment, I think Drew Barrymore's character, she like lands in the backyard of some children and the kids are playing a PlayStation game. Both of them have controllers, but the game on the screen is Final Fantasy VIII. Which, you know, that's not a two-player game. I don't know what they're doing. It's like one of those things where like you have a kid cousin or something. You're like, oh, you want to play a video game with me? And then you hand them a controller that's not plugged into the console. Like, wow, you're doing it. Oh, got another antidote. Gravedigger. Alright. Seems safe enough. Hello, sir. Turn around a little quicker, why don't you? Why would you come to such a dangerous place on purpose? Go home. Don't you know that the monsters are on the prowl again? What can you hope to accomplish here other than losing your own life? Oh, apparently I'm here to buy things. I have no money, sir. I spent it all on herbs and a shield, which I haven't equipped, by the way. What is this? Recovery-related special item. This crystal gives total recovery to the injured body and mind. Fruit of the dragon tree is useful for sudden damaging body changes. Crystal flask. Special flask, crystal, ordinary flask cannot contain the water from the recovery fountain as it will evaporate. Oh, okay. I remember recovery fountains in the first game, or the previous game. I guess you could take that shit with you if you have one of those. Probably a good idea. Might want to invest in that at some point. Tombstone. It's got a fancy jewel in there. I kind of want it. Guess I can't take it. This is also one of those games where I feel like there would be something pertinent on maybe one of the tombstones, but I'm hesitant to go through all of them. Let's look at our equipment. Shield. There we go. Still don't have any shoes. I don't know what that is. Is that a hotkey button? I guess it is. Okay, that'll be handy. I just don't know what the hotkey button is. It's probably triangle. Alexa, can you be my dad and play video games with me? I don't think Alexa can do that either. Alright. Here we go into the dankest dungeons available to us yet. Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. Wait, we still might have something here. That's the entrance. This place does not seem that big. I know there's a couple paths we didn't take, but unless they lead to something else. Oh wait, no, that's the entrance. What? Or maybe that's something else. I don't know. But yeah, unless there's a path that like goes way off course. I feel like we've gone around the entirety of this thing. It's the save crystal. I guess I won't mess with it just yet. We haven't really gotten anything important. We talked to the gravedigger, but you know, that's nothing crazy. Okay, well that's locked. It doesn't look like there's a pedestal to insert a key or anything, so I don't know what you need to do. Unless it's a door that's operated from afar by a lever or something. Tombstone, we got a house here. Marilyn Miller, the one who lives outside the wall. Apparently there's something creaky going on inside there. Hopefully it's just a rocking chair. Each one of the tombstones got nothing on it. It just says tombstone. Hey, it is a rocking chair. My name is Marilyn. I've seen you before, haven't I? You were here with Leon, right? I came here in search of my son, but now I'm stuck here. I can't move forward because of these rotten monsters, and I can't go back. I'd be abandoning my son. Okay. Thank you. Please help me. My son is in danger. Could you get this charm to him? He needs it if he's ever going to be free again. I often have nightmares about my son being immobilized and in agony at the hand of all this wickedness. If you can get the charm on to him, he'll finally be okay again, please. I wonder if he was that dead body we saw in front of the save thing. Special effect item. Okay. Okay. I see an herb. It was clipping through the wall. Well, my morbid, and I do mean morbid, curiosity is getting the better of me. I'm gonna go see if I can pop it on that soldier body and see if it does anything. Maybe that's what opens up the door. Nothing happens, damn. I still have it, right? Okay. Alright, well, since we're at the save crystal and I got the charm, I guess I'll go ahead and use the save crystal. We are emulating this. I could just do save states, but I'll try to be traditional. Let's not scum this game too much. Haikiri played it and beat it originally. So can I, maybe. You won't tell anyone. Alright, maybe we'll sneak a little cheeky save state in there every once in a while, but I'll try to avoid it for right now. He believes. Thank you, Akiri. I will say, depending on how long this game is, I'm not going to 100% guarantee I'm going to go all the way through it 100% on stream. But any game that gets redeemed, I do at least check it out for a couple hours, so we'll take a look at it. This is fascinating, though. I do like looking basically at game history, especially when it comes to something like early game from Software. I can imagine this was a kind of hard game to beat back in the day. Skeleton. Try it here. Okay, nothing happens. I'm thinking he's already dead. I could be wrong, but I'm like, I got a hunch. I got an 80% feeling that this lady's son has been dead for quite some time. I guess he could be the gravedigger. Okay. Remember the dungeons being hard and intense. Yeah, tighter spaces I could see being a bit of a problem. I remember with the first game, There were a lot of enemies to start off with that were kind of like this, where they're big lumbering monsters. But I remember if you go into it a little bit more, there starts to be like more human enemies, and they're a lot quicker. They could do a bunch of other things. And, you know, they had projectiles, and it just made things more difficult. And besides, you know, if you're in a dungeon, tighter spots means less maneuverability. Nothing happened with that one. Spider humanoids too. I don't remember that in the first one, but yeah, I can imagine that being a bit of a nightmare. Oh, a mace. Mace Windu. Oh, we have the Excelector. I thought that was something we needed to get. Boy, that's a weird looking sword. Morning Star. I don't... Let's see. Ordinary weapon, club, an iron star-shaped ball attached to its tip. This is the greatest achievement of Leon Shore. This is the first stage of the sword, which will grow more powerful as the owner uses it. Well, why would I want to use anything else then? I guess we'll keep with the Excelector. Oof. Oh shit, that poisons me too. Oh god, this is gonna be bad. I love games that have like item drop rates and stuff. It's so thrilling to get like a good item drop from an enemy, especially if you know what it's going to be and it's like something you're hunting for. You know, I like that in the Dark Souls series. I like it in the Castlevania series. It's like gambling. It's one of them dopamine receptor type things where it's like, oh yeah, am I gonna get it this time? Am I? Oh shit, we got it. So sometimes hunting for shit is fun, but you know, I don't necessarily like it when I'm streaming a game. As I've stated many times, whenever I stream games, I try to go for the most efficient route possible. And generally speaking, that is not like farming equipment. So anytime I have to do any sort of grinding for experience or farming for equipment or anything like that, usually I'll try to avoid that. If I've got time on my own time, I'll go ahead and commit that to finding stuff. Which we did a little bit in with the Dark Souls series. I know there was some parts where I was, you know, and I just bring that up just as most recently. Kind of did that with Pokemon as well. We did Pokemon Red recently, but I was getting some stuff off stream. It's a little bit tricky because I got this. I can't hit him either. Sucks. I got the one shooting projectiles, which can poison you on the first hit. But then I also have to manage like trying to kill this thing. The closer they get to one another, the less chance I have to actually make off without getting hit or dying. There we go. Would you say this is one of the harder games that you beat, like early on, Haikiri? Just in terms of like figuring out what you needed to do and everything? Were you playing like NES and Master System and stuff? I know there's technically harder games on those consoles, but sometimes, in this genre, yeah, okay. Sometimes, yeah, there's stuff that'll throw you for a loop. Oh, look, a key. That might go right here. Up there with Bayou Billy. I've seen Bayou Billy. I've never played it myself. It's always available, and every time I go to my local shop, I always see it there. But I've never played it. NES games were rough, but there was a reason why they made them so hard. Especially in the States. US versions of games back then were always going to be harder, and that's something that lasted up until like the PlayStation 2 days. Billy was hard, yeah. I'll bet. But the reason for that is because of rentals. Rentals had gotten so popular that particularly like Japanese developers would make the US versions harder so that, you know, somebody couldn't just rent the game and beat it in one sitting. Japanese versions, and like nowadays we think of like the Japanese versions being harder, and there were some exceptions back in the day. Like I think the Mega Man series was harder in Japan. There was something else. There's another one that's fairly popular. I forget. Was it Devil May Cry, or was Devil May Cry easier in Japan? I forget. But for the most part, any type of like game from Japan that got ported to the States was made harder so that stores would end up buying more copies. And that would kind of like supplement the cost of people that wouldn't buy it on their own. Or it would be so the idea in part with that would be that the game was so hard that somebody didn't just want to rent it. They wanted to buy it so they could have it at home. Okay, yeah, Devil May Cry was harder on the US version. On the third one, anyway. Easy was normal and normal was harder. Yeah, I remember there was something about it, like something about the difficulty being funky, but I don't remember what it was. We were talking about it when I streamed that series, but that was all the way back in like 2020. 5 years is a long time. I'm bound to forget a few things. Oh, we found gold in the tombstone. 50 gold at this point is nothing to scoff at. Nice, man, get at it, rough. I was shocked to see that when I first played the classic Mega Man games, I had played the Japanese versions first, which it took me a while to actually get to them, so it's not like I was playing them on an NES or anything. I had played them first on PlayStation, because PlayStation on the PS3, the early days of the PSN, they were releasing unlocalized Japanese games, which included the Mega Man series. There were a couple Mega Man like ports to the PlayStation. So, you know, you had the Rockman 1, 2, and 3, and they had just all those games just like there for like $5. So I had bought them. I'm like, oh, I'll play Mega Man. I've never played those before. It's so goddamn hard. And then when I went back and played the US version, I was surprised at how easy it was by comparison. Oh, and in the case of Devil May Cry, it was actually a selling point too. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why they did that for that one in particular, because, again, I mean, they were kind of doing the thing where, you know, rentals were still kind of a key point as to why they made stuff more difficult, and I think that did last up into the early days of the PS2 until like the early 2000s, but I almost feel like Devil May Cry should have been an exception from that, but yeah, I don't know what the reasoning was. Man, I cannot hit these things. I don't know what the deal is. It's so hard to land a hit on them. What's our gold situation looking like? 254? That's not that great. Uh-oh. Did that skeleton just burp? Last time we tried to fight a skeleton, we got our ass handed to us, so I don't know that I want to, like, jump in there, but So far, this is the only thing that we've been making progress to. Dead body. Nothing happens. I don't think there's weight restrictions, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick that up. Maybe we could sell it to a shop at some point. We do have a leather shield equipped. I don't know how to use it though. Oh, there's a sprint button. I didn't even know that was a thing. If you hold X. Let me take a look at the system configurations. Button config. Event. Attack status magic. View up, view down. Then what's there's like a hotkey for an item that was part of the like equipment menu. So what is that? And then how do you use the shield? Unless it just provides you more defense. Maybe it's like a stat based thing. I suppose that could be. I thought I remember like actually using a shield in Kingsfield 1 though. Maybe not. Sure is dark in here. Oh wait, I thought we were indoors. What's this? Did the door close behind me? I don't know why I got like the sepia tone. Oh, there's a ghost in here or something. Look, he's dead! Marilyn's son. Spell is cast. Spell is broken. I knew it. I knew he had to be dead. I don't know what's going on in here, though. We still got a plant, and I think there might still be a ghost in here. It might just be for decoration. I got no clue. Oh, that was a door. All right. There's a flaming pillar. I guess I'll approach it. I didn't know if something was going to come out of it or what. Ah! Pre-rendered cutscene, maybe. It looks a little bit artifacted. Oh, most blessed of days, it is you. Alexander told us of your imminent arrival 10 years ago, so this has come to pass that you have something. You shall not pass. My gift is of fire. Allow the powers of the fire to burn the flame of courage deep in your heart, Prince Lyle. The man just immolated himself. Cool. Now what? I'm guessing I can equip that, right? Oh, good. Fireball. There's still like a sepia tone, so I don't know what that is. Oh, we have a curse condition. How do I get rid of that? Oh, there is the bloodstone. Should I use it now? I don't know what the curse thing does. Here, let's take a look. Let's check the old Google. Okay. That did not yield the results I was expecting. Curse status duration, 180 seconds, so it looks like it goes away after a while. Looks like these status effects actually do dissipate. I don't know, I just don't know what Curse does. Curse is 180 seconds though, so I guess we could just try to wait it out. We maybe don't need to, as long as we're not taking damage, I guess I'm fine with it. But I'm not sure overall what it does. I'll wait on using the Bloodstone. If it becomes apparent that I need to do something and be uncursed, then I'll go ahead and use it. Just got my firepower. I'm not about to die right now. Man, I guess, okay. The magic casting sure does take a while to get back into effect. Maybe the curse, like, changes how quickly you recharge or something, because that does seem like it's a while. I hit the ghost. It didn't seem to do anything though. I think we're poisoned. Wants a piece of me. Shit. He almost got it. Okay, well I got the plant at least. Oh shit, there's two. I don't need to fight these guys, and the longer I'm in here, the worse it seems to be getting for me, so I think I'm just gonna leave. We got the firepower, which apparently that's one of the things we need to progress the game, so I'm gonna say that's good enough for right now. And it's all thanks to that old crone's son. They strung him up on that wall. I brought him down. He was grateful we could open the door. Alright, let's go ahead and save. Kind of curious how long the game is. I could take a look on how long to beat, I suppose, but Akiri, do you have a sense of about how long it took you to beat this game? Because I still haven't beaten any of the other ones in the series. I'm guessing it's not going to be nearly as long as a Dark Souls type game. If it is, holy shit. I seem to be able to consistently hit these guys from the back, but I almost never seem to get a crit when I do that. I think the only times I've ever gotten a crit on them is when I hit them from the front. These things have a lot of health, but when there's only one on the field and there's nothing else you have to worry about, I mean, I think it's easiest, like easy-ish experience. Oni Densetsu, welcome in. Kingsfield, yep. Our man Haikiri has requested it, so therefore I am playing it. I think I've actually streamed the first one on 2 occasions. I never finished it though. Should go back and do that. That's true, we're currently in the field. I presume, and I think based on the details we learned in the intro cutscene, that a king did own it, so it is in fact his field. The king's field, if you will. There's a big old castle in the distance. That looks neat. Let's see if I can smack this guy without him hitting me. Particularly in Shadow Tower, I remember being able to do this with some of the larger lumbering enemies. But the thing about Shadow's Tower, I think the game runs better than this one. I think it, like, possibly felt a little bit quicker. And then the other thing is that they throw a lot of enemies, I remember, at you in that game. I always felt like every room that I was in, even if it was like tighter corridors, there was usually like at least 2 enemies. And here, I don't know, a lot of times it seems like we could break away and there's just one kind of out on the field somewhere. I ain't even playing with those guys. We'll leave them be. Let's go check on the old woman. Let me go talk to her and see if she has anything to say. I'm thinking that we're probably done here because I don't know that there's anywhere else that we can go. There was the one locked door, but I don't know. I guess you would have to open that up from the other side. There wasn't a pedestal I could interact with, so I'm not exactly sure what you need to do. Hello. Thanks to you, my son has finally been set free. Here, take this map. I don't need it anymore now that he's safe. I'll pray for your safety, Lyle, and your victory too. Wow. I have a friend named James Seward McCain, the 5th. Well, that name just kept going. Who is waiting for Commander Silviera to return. If you ever happen to see him, please tell him that my son has finished his task. I'd like to return to my house. I had a beautiful view of the ocean from there. It was just magnificent. About the time that the king suddenly changed and the demons began to appear, my hometown was covered in a deep snow. The beach began to drop and shift, and an ugly cliff replaced our beautiful beach. I was operating an inn at that time. Many people used to come to visit there. The scenery was gorgeous. We were all so very proud of our beautiful country. On a clear day, you could see the island of Melanat. You couldn't describe the beauty with words. Since that day, the sky has been nothing but dark gray and gloomy. I wish the beauty would return. I used to play on the... Good Lord, I get it. It was nice, I understand. I'd find things floating in the water from far-off lands. It was like a dream. I'm sorry to bore you with an old woman's memories, but I feel like you're part of my family. Please come again soon. Take care of yourself. Oh boy. I know how that goes. Hey, I feel bad, but... Let's stick with the pertinent details to the journey. I think I remember talking about this before, but back when I used to work retail, I remember an old woman came in and she had this big old book with her, and I was like, what the hell is that? And she was talking. I saw her when I first saw her. She was talking to somebody, and I'm like, okay, it was, she must know that person. And then I walked around, and then maybe 30 minutes later, I saw her talking to somebody else. And then another 30 minutes later, she was still there. She was talking to somebody else. And then I think she either walked up to me. I forget if I interacted with her or she interacted with somebody else that was on the sales floor. But I remember walking either up to them or she was talking to me, and I saw what the big book was. It was a photo album, and she was just pulling aside random strangers and showing off her photos and just talking to random people about what each of those photos were and when they were taken and the details. And I was like, oh my God. I get that old people can get lonely sometimes, but I never once would I have thought that somebody would just wander out and just start pulling strangers aside just to show them off the family photo book. Must be pretty bad. I hope I would assume that her family probably doesn't get in contact with her very often, if she has any. But Yeah, definitely seems like somebody needs to talk to her. I hear you're planning to go to the castle. In that case, I suggest you stop at your mother's tomb and pray for your soul's safe passage. Going to that castle is suicide. Where's her tomb? I don't know where that is. Flame rod. I think we'll avoid weapons. Seems like we got a pretty good one. I would be interested in that crystal flask, but hey, I don't really have anything. No money to purchase it with, and definitely not enough to go around here. I guess I'll sell this. I'll sell the Morning Star. I don't think I'm going to use it. Oh shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Instinctively tried to pull up the menu with triangle. There's been you can't tell because I haven't had magic equipped to it, but I've been hitting that button and then like going back and hitting the circle button afterwards. I'll learn pretty quickly, hopefully. Here, let's check out the map maybe. I want to see if something pertinent comes up. Oh, okay. It's kind of like a Zelda map. Yeah, the castle, I guess, is way up there. That's what we see in the distance. You can see it up at the top left, I think. See, I saw the photo book to see the photos, but I want to say if she did talk to me, I broke away pretty quick. But the more I think about it, this is a long time ago too. The more I think about it, the more I think she was talking to somebody else, another associate that was on the floor. And I just happened to walk up and I was either talking to the associate or I just walked up to see what was going on. And because I know I saw the photos, but I don't think she was talking to me directly, and unless she just like tried to attempt to, and I just shut her down. I could be that way. I have a respect for the elderly, but I also am very dismissive of them sometimes. And especially when it came to that particular job, I could not be bothered with people. So, either, yeah, we didn't get a conversation going, or she wasn't actually talking to me, but I don't know that she showed me a particular photo. I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't come up with like a fake excuse, like I have to pee. I do remember there were like legitimate times where like I had really had to piss or something, and I was making my way to the restroom and somebody would like try to pull me aside, and I would just tell them, I'm actually on my way to the bathroom. I'll see if I can come back as quickly as possible. But I never like came up with a fake excuse. If somebody like did try to pull me aside, like I'm trying to think of what I would have done in that particular situation, because I would have had to have said something to break away. But that's why I think that I didn't actually have to do that. I think she was talking to somebody else and I just happened to pop in, like run right out. But I think in that case, if she tried to pull me aside, I would have said, oh, there's other customers I need to attend to, if you'll excuse me. And technically that's true. Vice Commander Kane, forever we shall lift up your flame. Okay. Oh. Is that one of them dragon things? It looks like the dragon thing that was in the shop. So there are some items. I guess they're just like left as offerings in front of the tombstones. I don't know why else they would just be sitting there. Now that we have the map, I guess we have a slightly better sense of where we could potentially go. But on the other hand, it doesn't seem like it's open world to a point, but there's not like a whole lot of variety in places that we can get to. And this map isn't overly detailed where I could like actually look up a path. I don't think. So I kind of get the feeling like it'll be of sort of little use, but we could kind of get the general idea of where we're headed. There are a couple places I'm thinking of in particular now where I probably want to go check out. Like that wall where we saw the thing on top of it. It looked like there was a dungeon or something nearby there. So I might go take a look at that. Probably going to go back to the house that had the skeleton in the box, maybe see if I could beat it, or see if there's anything else around there that I can interact with. Those were the two primary locations. Otherwise, I think everything else is sort of locked off. Nothing we got access to just yet. But I'm pretty sure we're done here. I don't think we'll need to come back here unless this is the route how we get to the castle. In which case, that seems to be the last thing that we need to do, so I don't think we're going to be able to get to it just yet. Hopefully we don't need to beat the ghosts and the skeleton that's in that one room. I hope they don't have a drop or something. Yeah, I'm missing out on experience, but unless there's something like mandatory that I need to get from them, I'm perfectly fine passing them up. I'll just grind some of the lower level enemies. And the curse status did eventually go away. We no longer have that sepia tone, so... Boy, it felt longer than 180 seconds, but... I guess it did dissipate after a minute. Oni Densetsu, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'll take a couple steps out here, and then I'll pull up the map and see kind of if there's anything nearby in the main area that we might have access to. We're also probably gonna see about finding like a fountain or something. I don't know if maybe we could go home, but health I can regenerate perfectly fine with the herbs. The magic, on the other hand, I don't know that I've seen a way you could actually do that. Alright, so here we are. Kind of wish the player indicator was not present, because I don't know what that says underneath it. But, alright. There's Ralago to the west. And I don't know what that is in the middle there. Is that a boat? Some kind of ship, maybe? Cassin. North of Ralago, there's like a cornfield. Quist? Oh yeah, that is one of the places. Well, needless to say, I don't know that the map is going to help me to any serious extent here. I remember in the previous game, I felt like usually where there was a save point, there was one of the fountains nearby. Because they were few and far between, but so were the save points. But I don't think we've seen a fountain at all. No way to like recover any sort of health or anything. I'm gonna go back to my house, my friend, whoever's in there. See if there's something I can do. There is the little planter box to the side. I think that might just be replenishing herbs. I got the magic power. Are you proud of me? Alexander lost his magical power of light on the day he placed the Great Seal on the castle. All his life force was put into the seal, but you have the blood of King Alfred. Okay, it's just the same shit. Alright. I guess he doesn't say anything new. Or does he comment on my accomplishment? Took a minute to get through all that. Oh, okay. Well, maybe not. I thought maybe we could like get herbs from that, but they might just be flowers. Alright, I'm curious about this little dungeon looking path down here, so I'm gonna go there. And then we'll see if there's anything. There's this too, I don't know what that is. Animal skeleton. Alright, I guess now I know. Hi-yi! We're getting a little more strength. It used to take like 4 or 5 hits to beat those guys. Got it in 3. Seems a little suspicious. Okay. Got one of those. Oh shit. I thought he was turned around. I thought he was walking in the other direction. Stuck on the chest. God damn it. Alright. The skeletons, I think just based off of how quickly they attack, we're probably gonna want to either try to draw them out to more open areas or just avoid them entirely. Back to the house, and I pulled up the menu to get to the loading screen, and holy shit, level 1. So it just restarts you from bare-ass beginnings. Yeah, it's an instant reset. It's not loss of experience or anything. It's just like you start from the beginning again. It's pretty brutal. I mean, there is saving, obviously. We just reloaded the save that we got, but still. It's one of those things where just the fact that they do it, it's kind of harsh. The skeleton had a massive chest. Boing. I want to know what was in there, but at the same time, I don't know that I can defeat that skeleton. Oni, you seem to know a little bit about this game. Is there a way to bring up, like, does the shield do anything? Can you block or parry? Or is it just like a defense stat booster? Because when I took a look at the controls, there was no control for shield. Okay, so it's passive. You can't do anything active with it. That's what I was afraid of. Well, I mean, I guess it does give us a little bit of a defense boost, but still kind of sucks. What's my gold looking like? 723, not bad. Maybe I could trade out for like an iron shield or something. Is this the shop? Hello there. I heard you scrubbing from outside. Another demon fighter, eh? There hasn't been one of those around here since the great commander, David Silviero, disappeared. You're looking at the next in line, baby. Get an iron helm, too. Iron shield is 680. Oh, jeez. 7,800 for that. Leg guards. I guess I'll buy this. I'm kind of feeling like I should save up. But the one thing I wanted was that crystal flask, and it's like we haven't even seen a fountain anywhere, so. Let me just sell you my leather shield. Okay. Off we go. Started looking over that way. I'm like, was there anything over there? Got my hopes up when there was a big shade, but nope, nothing. We could go back and get the Dragonstone. I might. I don't know if we can fight the skeleton. He's a little bit too tough. I was thinking about maybe seeing if I could lure him out to the field, but it might not work out. The only way I could see, like, being able to, like, cheese him in any regard is maybe seeing if I could circle strafe around to his back. But that does seem like it might be challenging, because they're pretty on you. They're not slow to turn around like these plants are, for instance. And he attacks very, very quickly. I remember the skeleton enemies in Shadow Tower. They weren't nearly this hard. They were just the starting enemies. Although the skeletons in this game, you know, we see them pretty early on. But in Shadow Tower, I remember beating them relatively quickly. Oh, they can't breach the doorway? Oh, that sucks. Well, I might be able to cheese them that way then. Hold on. Shit. Okay. Oh, no. I was thinking maybe there's like a slight chance. I suppose I could maybe shoot a fireball at him, but there's a slight chance if he has like a combo. Oh, it doesn't breach the doorway. Shit. We would have to go in there to fight him, I guess. There's no way around it, so I'm just gonna leave it. Whatever's in there, I guess. Don't worry about it. Oh, well. There's also the one in the chest room that we saw that was in the house. That one was pretty brutal too. Here's the other side of the wall that I was trying to get past. Oh, that just goes over here. And then you can't breach this, huh? That sucks. You might as well have just built the wall there. Talking to you from devs from 30 years ago. Just finish off the wall. The tree makes it look like I could maybe slide in there, but I guess not. Alright, we'll go this way and see what's up. Ah, shit, I got hit. Oh, that actually, I thought that just poisoned me. I didn't know that it would take damage out. Oops. What is that? I don't remember seeing that. Is that a spider? Hey. It's a spider. I don't think it's the spiders that Akiri was talking about. You said those were humanoid, right? Ugh. These things, that's a decent amount of damage, but I was thinking they probably poison you. Yeah, not these ones. Alright. Based on your description, I figured as much, but I don't know. Maybe they could have turned into a human or something. They were kind of... he was turning around pretty quickly for a second there, and then he just stopped. There's the house with the skeleton in it. That was one of the first things we did, and that was my first death. So, I don't know if there's anything in there, or it's literally just the skeleton. He might drop something if we beat him, I don't know. Oh, you settle down back there. Spider cave. Okay, never mind. starting to run out of magic. I need to find one of them fountains. Oh, here's a save crystal. Yeah, I overshot it by a little bit. No, there wasn't. I was too high up. I figured that the bolt would just like set on the ground, but no, it's level with, I guess, where your view is. Maybe if I look down, it'll do something, but I don't know. Did it save? I don't think I saved. I think I just pulled it up. A little raid coming in from Vale. Vale, welcome in. Thank you everybody for coming in on the raid. There she is. How you doing, ma'am? Good to see you. Streaming Little Droid. I was watching you play a little bit of that when I was prepping the stream. Looked interesting. Little indie side-scrolling platformer from what I saw. This almost looks like it should be a fountain. Okay, broken. I wonder if we could fix it. We have a mason around here. Welcome everyone. Prime Firm Soft. Firm Software. That should have been their name, not From Software. It should have been Firm Software. Oh, I always considered Dark Souls Metroidvanias in their own right, especially the first one. They kind of lost that with the second one, and then they sort of tried to bring it back with Dark Souls 3. But Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, they all kind of had that connectivity where you would need to go back and backtrack through places. It wasn't a hard set Metroid type where you would get like items that would be part of your key inventory that would, you know, unlock doors and stuff. But there was a bit of a, backtracking through broad and spacious levels with some of the Dark Souls series. But this is From Software's third game, so this was still pretty early on in their tenure. Oh, this is the inn. I was like, what new location did we find? We didn't. Watch here, I'll open the door. Is the old guy in there? If it is... Yep, there he is. This is the inn. Yeah, I found the ass end of the inn. Well, at least we can, I don't know, continue on through here. Let you restart a game 1,000 times trying to memorize how to get from save A to save B because there's no health. Love in that game. Are you making your way through it pretty successfully, though? Nothing too hard? The Queen of Verdite. Noelle Forrester. Oh, is this the mother's tomb that we were told to visit? Oh, these are just regular tombstones. What is this? Royal emblem. I don't have anything on me that I could utilize with that, do I? Guess not. What does the map say? Where are we? Yeah, I know I'm the prince. I'm assuming in the region that there's only going to be like one royal family though, right? This isn't just like some other queen. Alright. We got a mirror. Truth glass. Special item. This item shows its user the truth of anything viewed through it. Only 7 exist in all the world. I assume that it's reusable. 500 gold. Holy shit. Also slow and steady. We finally found a boss. 3 today. Nice, and you won. Sounds like there is another hidden door. Maybe we can use that mirror and see for sure. Quiz Cemetery. The cemetery contains the tomb of Noelle, Queen of Verdite. Many good people have lost their lives during these harsh times, but hers has been felt the most throughout the kingdom. Oh. Okay, I guess that didn't reveal anything, but it just, oh, son of a bitch. We had a problem when there was one skeleton in a room. There, you expect me to do 2? Yeah, it tells you information about the place. Oh boy. You know what? If there's another type of weapon, like we had the mace. I'm imagining that the mace doesn't have like much reach compared to other weapons, but maybe like that long sword or the rapier or something. Maybe I got something that I could poke that'll give us a little bit of length. Because like in Dark Souls, for instance, sometimes you get into like these tight corridors, and it's like when you had a weapon that had some reach, you could kind of make do. But as it stands, I don't know that I can fight these things based on just my current stats and health and everything. And they got a little bit of reach themselves. Oh, look, they can use their shields. I can't use a shield, but they can. I want that chest. That looks primo back there. Mortal Kombat music starts, yeah. The ultimate fight. Alright, well, I think we're gonna have to come back to that. Because I'm pretty sure there's nothing I can do. What does the mirror do if I hold it up against other things? Oh no, it's still the same general area. Okay. Alright, fair enough. 781. I've got a decent amount of money, but I don't think it's decent enough to get anything substantial in terms of like weaponry. Of course, I was skipping over most of the weapons. I wasn't even looking at the prices. I just know that some of the more expensive stuff ranged in the thousands, so I doubt I'll be able to get it. Lakers are about to lose. That's good, I guess. It's not good for Lakers fans, but... This is the old guy, right? Check. We were told to report to that commander. I guess the commander disappeared, though. I don't know if he's still alive or if we can even find him anywhere. Here, let's go talk to the lady real quick. I want to see what she has in terms of weaponry. Yeah. I don't care, even though that was just what I was talking about. Longsword. Lakers can lose after they got Luka. Oh boy. That mace looks pretty long. I don't know that it'll give us, like, much reach. Oh boy, hold on. There was a, like, wiki that I pulled up relatively recently. And now I'm not seeing anything of that. Oh, here it is. It's a long mace, which I'm wondering if it'll give us any additional reach, but I don't know how the weapons operate, and, you know, it's relatively hard to get money, so I don't necessarily want to just, you know, waste it on shit. Oh, this wiki sucks. Okay, there's not a whole lot in here. It had a couple of key items, but it doesn't have anything substantial. I get like a description on the weapons or something, maybe something like that might help. I saw that there were like staves and stuff too. I'm sure that that casts like some kind of magic, which would be nice, but usually that kind of stuff would be dependent either on your MP or limited per item, both of which would be bad in my case because I don't know that I can't like cast magic through a doorway as we saw before. And then if it's reliant on MP, I wouldn't even have that much to begin with. So I'm not too sure. I see a guide here for weapons, but there's nothing that mentions anything about like reach. Save state time, yeah, try and buy. I don't know if I'm gonna find my answer here, probably not. Desolate, welcome in. No, the S does not stand for sexy, but it does if you want it to. That's your stupid comment for the night. Alright, well, thank you. It means snull. It does not mean snull, but if you meant to type the letter next to it, you're close, but it doesn't mean that either. Okay, save state is F2. I'll maybe experiment with this. Let's see. Snookums. Every so often I explain the origin of my name, and it gets no clearer. No, it's pretty concise. I was when I was making an account for online purposes, specifically for gaming, I wanted to be as anonymous as possible. Because I had known that, like on Xbox Live, for instance, that, you know, people will find your username and they'll, I don't know, shit talk you and send you messages. And I was just like, I don't want to deal with that. So I'll just make a confusing name that nobody will ever figure out. Oh, look at that. That's a broad strike. That's interesting. So I was trying to figure out something that would be anonymous, but also mean something to me so that I wouldn't like forget it, for instance. So I was just kind of getting into Metal Gear about that time. And I had, decided to create a name kind of based off around that. So I took the S from Solid Snake, so you could think of like the S as being solid, and then 76253, if you look at a touch tone pad, the 7, the 6, the 2, the 5, and the 3 correspond with SNAKE. So essentially, the username is Solid Snake. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but that's what I based it off of. Also, I am not hitting these guys. Oh, I got one! I should be hitting both of them, I think. Hey, we did it! Oh, thank God. Ah! But anyway, that's what I based it off of. The name stuck. I used it for my Twitch name. I probably shouldn't have, because it is not easy to remember. And if I ever want anybody to like come back without following me or whatever, probably would have been better had I chosen like a word. But here we are. Oh, hey. Look, I was thinking about buying one of these. It's one of them flasks. Thank you. That was our big get for the night. I could probably go back and get the chest in that other one, but that chest back there wasn't nearly as glorious, so I don't know if it's going to be worth it. This still looks weird to me. I'm getting the fact that the truth glass just brings up a description, but damn it. I'm wanting to see if it has like another purpose. I guess it doesn't though. The mace might not have been a bad purchase after all, because at least, I don't know if it had more reach, but maybe just the fact that it sweeps to the left and right, it might have been able to get us the win there. I'm gonna go save real quick and then maybe we'll fight these spiders and see if there's anything else we could do. Wall spikes. I don't know if I've come across any of those. Have we seen those yet? Or do they come down from like the ceiling or something, or they just like shoot out? Both. Oh, okay. One of those. Well, that's a shame. Strength up. That one singular arm, the left arm, is going to be real strong. Which is actually weird that he's using the left arm. I guess our character is left-handed. He's like Link. But yeah, he ain't using both. All right. I don't know. I do kind of like the swinging arc. I have no clue if it's actually helping or not, but I'm enjoying it. That's the Jackin arm, the Quagmire arm. Here we go. Here's the house. The house that we died in. Oof. The only thing is, if the door closes on me, it's probably going to push me back in. I got this, maybe. I have like an opportunity, given based on how long the door stays open, to run in, try to hit him real quick, and then run back out. I don't think it's going to work. Alright, we hit him, but then we got hit in return. Shit! Got it. Took a couple licks, but still got it. Oh, it's one of those keys. Well, we might still be able to use that somewhere. We cleared the area where we were mostly using those, but I don't know. Maybe there's another spot we can use it in. Whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? I did not push myself off the wall. I wanted to go up here and check and see if there's anything else up there. He just like slipped or something. That sucks. Let's take a look at the map. Let's see where we are. Quist. We're all the way at the bottom side of Quist. There might be something past those walls, like maybe another way to get... Because there's that Relugo. Well, I don't know if that's even connected to something that we've been to. I should probably look and see about going over there, though. It does seem like most stuff can be accessed from that little central part, though. So if I can get in there somewhere, that's probably where we need to go. I'm going to see about getting this chest, and then we'll kind of head back in that direction. Let's see if there's some way we can manage to squeeze into some sort of doorway. god, there's no fall damage. Alright, skeleton, round 2. Look, he's prepping. I cannot get in there without getting hit. It sucks. See if you can manage to squeeze in. That's what she said. Hey-oh! There we go. Got me nervous there for a second. What is that? Oh, it's a shield? Oh, shit. That wasn't worth it. Is there another door? Oh, look, there is. Wow. We can't, though. I already got I purchased a better shield than that one. I could sell it, but... Look at all this. It's nothing but secret doors. You've now entered the Windows screensaver. Are you kidding me? Locked? Who has the key? Oh, no. He came in from the roof. I should have known they'd pull some shit like that. Get 1,000 secret doors only to have death be brought upon you. Yeah, not a big fan of the traps. Pretty much out of, I do have a decent amount of money. I mean, we spent a lot of it, but, you know, we got 200 gold, so I can go buy more earth herbs. It's too bad the traps are a big fan of me, I know. Such is the world that we live in. Doesn't mean I need to like it, though. I'm gonna play the first and the last one. The first one scared the hell out of you as a kid. You stayed away until the last one. It was really nice. You just got sidetracked, as usual, with Kingsfield. The last Kingsfield was 4, right? On PS2. Oh, she's got... Oh, I have 0. Okay. I thought she had 0. I'm like, wait, what? Waiting for a 3D model of mankind to run at me. The wrestler? I'm not. The pace of this game is so slow, I feel relatively safe reading a long message. I don't think it'll mess me up too much. What is this? Mirror, mirror in my pocket. Statue of the hero. The stone statue of Silveria Vieira was built by those that saved by the courageous commander. Silveira went into the castle and has never returned. The people who built the statue are mostly gone now. Oh. This was... Oh, that's sealed. But I have the stuff. I wonder, do they call Kingsfield 4 Kingsfield 3 on PS2? I forget now. But I think the 4th one would have been on the PS2, and I think that's where they stopped, because it was around that time where they, like right after that, they moved on and they continued the Armored Core series, and then they just started making Demon Souls after that. Okay, so we're in this area. Yeah, I don't think there's an entrance over here though, but it does look like up in like the walled area there might be a way to get into the stuff that's a little bit further to the west. One thing I remember about Kingsfield 1 is, do you think this sword, anything you found, there was no shop, you hit a barrel, pop it open, skeleton popped out, kills you, and your journey ended. Well, we just did that a second ago, but he wasn't in a barrel, he was in a chest. There were shops in Kingsfield 1, I remember. I remember purchasing stuff. There, you'd have to, they were few and far between though. Like, civilization, as it were, was not very common. But I remember there was at least an inn. And I remember the people were weird because they were all faceless. It was a very cheap looking game, but it was one of the, like, I mean, Kingsfield 1 and 2 were the very first couple of games that From Software made, so, you know, they were still kind of feeling out what they could work with. Okay, so we're getting into here. It almost looks like there's like a path. The skeleton in the barrel stopped you from discovering much more. Yeah, I guess that's a journey ender, if anything. On the map, it almost looks like there's a straight path somewhere. I don't know. It's weird. I don't think there is, though. I think it's literally just this. The odd thing, though, is that we saw that door that was sealed. I feel like there's a way to get to that, but you'd need to approach it from the other side. So I don't know if that's like one giant loop around from some other location or what. Even though it wasn't our fourth, they just, by that point, they just like gave up. They're like, eh. Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone else did that does that kind of thing. Because, I mean, that did happen with Final Fantasy eventually as well. It's like, there was Final Fantasy 3, and then, whoa, Final Fantasy 7. The hell happened to the other 4? But, yeah, I think they probably would have. It was at that point where it's like, who cares? People would have thought they missed it anyway. I wonder if ASCII was still publishing by that point. I don't know that ASCII is still around. And it's weird because I think ASCII was a Japanese publisher. Normally the route they would go is that like a Japanese dev company would like go through a US publisher, but ASCII was like a Japanese publisher as well. They did a lot of old Japanese games, so a lot of that stuff that you'd find on PlayStation. Hidden gems and such. Things that were pretty niche that not a lot of people played. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think the map is like terribly accurate to how this actually goes, but ASCII or From obviously made good games. Most of the bulk of their catalog in the early days was like Armored Core, though. They were just like an Armored Core pumping machine. And then every once in a while you'd get something weird like a Shadow Tower or a random Kingsfield would come out, but for the most part it was just like Armored Core out the ass. ASCII published a number of games, though. I couldn't even tell you which one specifically. I just know that I've seen their logo pop up, and I've seen their logo on a number of like different PlayStation games. See, when I was over here before, I feel like it was taking us further north, which is not where we necessarily needed to go. So I'm a little bit lost. I just want to see if there's a way I could get to the west. Maybe there was something I missed or something. Look, that tree is permanently gone. All other enemies respawn except for this stupid tree. I was kind of afraid that maybe he had like a key item or something. Is there something up here? Oh, here's a tree. Oh, look, another gate. What's the matter? Just turn around. I think we're able to beat this thing quicker with the X-Selector. Mace isn't cutting it. They drop a lot of gold, though. We got that one singular Silviera's key, though. Nice. I don't know what those are, but something. Are those for the feet or the arms? There we go. Oh shit. We got these bastards. I think the mace does have a little bit more reach. I don't know, it could just be the orientation of how it's slashing, but it's like I'm hitting these things easier from the side, which I was not able to do with the sword. The damage output is bad in comparison, though. The sword was doing more. Skeleton. Okay. Moving on. Nothing but plants. Low-level plants at that. Oh, 2 trees. Poisoned. Damn it. Thought I heard something behind me. I'm gonna switch back to the X-Selector. Every once in a while they attack twice in a row too. Oh yeah, like that. Shit. Oh no! I shouldn't have gone in. It's a slow-moving game, yes. Oh, we died. Oh well. When was the last time we saved? We saved inside the castle walls, I think. Go big or go home. Yes, sir. Oh, speaking of which, me see. I need to actually do something here. I might BRB. We might take a break on this because I did want to do a little bit of multiplayer, but also I don't think I'm going to stream terribly long. I have to get some work done. There was something I wanted to finish tonight. So I might move on to some multiplayer. And I'm curious about this game. It feels like we are making progress in a sense to get to somewhere. So I kind of want to see what's up. So I think we'll come back to this. But I'm going to keep it fairly brief tonight. We put about 2.5 hours in though. And I said I was going to do at least 2. So well, thank you for requesting Haikiri. I will do it again. So we'll come back to it. I might do it on a night where I do Doom on PS1. We kind of keep the PS1 theme going. Just because I don't like Doom is fun, but it's particularly the PS1 version is a little bit rough. So I think I don't think I'd manage to play it for more than a couple hours anyway. So I might do it like a full stream just by doing some Doom PS1 and then doing some Kingsfield. It's good seeing it again. Yeah, it's fun to bring out some of the older games, blasts from the past and everything. So I was glad I was able to catch you so you could see it. And maybe on another Wednesday night or like an off night or something. Or hell, we're not doing like a real main game. So I might be back with this as soon as like Monday or something. I think the next next stream I'm probably going to do some multiplayer, but probably by the weekday I think we might look at doing some more of this. I'll do some of this, and then I'll do some Doom on PS1. But I do have to do something real quick that's going to take a few minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and BRB, and then we'll use that as an excuse to get into some multiplayer. Kuma, you're here. Let me know if there's something you want to do in particular. We might save Resident Evil. I was going to say if you want to do Resident Evil, but I'm thinking I might want to save that for the weekend, if you want to do Saturday. Just so that we have a longer stream to commit to it, because we won't be able to, like you say, knock it out in one night. Alright. Maybe we'll do some Fortnite or something. But give me a sec. I'm going to BRB, and I'll be a few minutes, and we'll be right back and do some multiplayer. So give me a sec.